Hey guys, welcome to another video, man. Coming to you live on www.kgosiefm.co.za and coming to you live again on www.segonganeholdings.co.za/kgosiefm/. My name is Kgosi and this is the kgosietsile live show. Coming to you live from Kgosi FM studios, as you can see at the back. We are recording this live from the studios right here on Pretoria West in Danville in Westview. Yeah. Today I want to talk about this woman here. Her name is katlego, and she's got a podcast called Citizen Consent. I encourage you to go watch it and make up your minds about what she's saying. I'm not a fan of her content or her videos because she's so anti everything that black people does, and she's so pro everything what people does. She's one of those people that want to sound better than others and who love the sound of their voices. And she's one of the people that really thinks that there's nothing good a black person can do, but only what a white person would do. She's a DA member, from her own words, in the same video we're gonna watch now, and we will analyze what she's saying. In this video, she's talking about, but before that, before I can get, because I'm so want to get into this thing. We have a sponsor today. Let's talk to the sponsor first, and then we can continue the video. This show is brought to you by Segongane Medical Services and Clinic. They are a private clinic situated in number 70 Kgosietsile in Westview, danville. They specialize on the following: primary health care, ailment diagnosis and treatment, including medication, wound care, family planning, well baby clinic, basic ultrasound, laboratory blood services, treatment of chronic illnesses, treatment and management of patients on ARVs, wellness screening, antenatal clinic, HIV services and counseling. They have a pharmacy on site and they are doing CCMDD services as well, OHS clinic, circumcision clinic and abortion services. Their cell phone number is 064 548 7176 or 071 422 8576. Again, the address is 70 Kgosietsile in Westview, Pretoria West in Danville. Cell phone number again is 064 548 7176 or 071 422 8576. Yeah, that's one of the ways that you can be able to sponsor this radio station and advertise on this radio station and sponsor this show as well. There's also on Medical Services and Clinic. So you want an audio advertisement like this with that poster up there as it looks on your screen, just contact us on 064 548 7176 and we will do it for you. As you can see now, we've got a disclaimer up on screen that you guys can read for yourself again and then be able to make an informative opinion about what happens in this show. So please, before we can go further, please leave a like, subscribe and comment below and tell me what you think about today's video, and tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm not right, I'm not right. So I'm not going to argue and say, yeah, I'm right and everything. So tell me what you think about what we have put up today. So as I said, the woman's name is katlego, and she's a member of the DA. She's got a podcast, Citizen Consent, where she's beware of the comrades. Yeah. She's also critical about black comrades, black people actually, and us, and comrades in the sense of anything else beyond the DA. The DA is their party, is fine, but then she labels everybody else comrades. So people must be aware of comrades because of 1, 2, 3, 4. So I watched one of her videos because I saw the caption and I was like, okay, let me just see what's happening here. Because like I said, I don't watch her content because her content is Anyway, she was talking about how hypocritical the ANC government and the comrades and the progressive parties, the black progressive parties, are so hypocritical and against black people and making them not to want to, they want to persecute the white people who were not even born during apartheid. They want us as black people, those parties, they want us people to hate white people because of whatever, and then, but at the end of the day, they went and released a prime evil murderer like Eugene de Kock. And she goes on and on about how Jacob Zuma visited de Kock in prison, and how hypocritical these parties are. They do something on the side, but then again, they expect South Africans to hate white people who didn't even do nothing about apartheid and all that. So I'm not going to take much of the video because I want you to watch it and you make your own informed decision and informed opinion. And please comment below and tell me what you think about this one. But for me, it actually showed me how far we have fallen. It has actually showed me how terrible we are to ourselves as black people. Just because we got a platform and people liked whatever. And if you look in here, like go to YouTube now and check citizen concern and check this episode and see who are mostly commenting and uploading her video. You will see like what I'm talking about. And she says she's a DA member, and she knows people will now say, yeah, it's because of you're a DA member, blah, blah, blah. No. We don't care who you vote for, my dear. We don't. It's up to you. But just say, be consistent in whatever you're saying. You know, be consistent. The DA never said anything, even when the court was released. They never condemned it as well. Helen Zille never came out and said, no, you cannot release this prime evil. This person is killed. No, they were quiet. Steenhuisen, your boss, your leader, never came out and said, no, he cannot be released from prison. No. When Zondo was releasing, when Zondo released Yalus Walus, did the DA condemn it? No, they didn't condemn it. They didn't even say a word. No statement, no nothing. They didn't say nothing. They were just quiet. If the statement is maybe, this this statement that's literally this vague thing, just for them to have said they've said something. For example, the matter of that woman that was thrown to pigs. When he was asked on Twitter did they not condemn that full force, you know what he said? If you read the newspapers, we have already condemned it there. Which newspaper? Daily Sun, Citizen, Sowetan? No. Maybe the Build. They put like 5 lines of whatever, and then that's it. And this woman here, this woman here, I don't know. If there's a video of her condemning what happened to that woman in pigs, please send me the link down below. Let me watch it. I'll apologize. Because I don't understand why people are so selective. I don't understand why people don't want to, yeah. But you know what? Before we can go further, let's just watch the video and then we'll take it from there. All right?
So often we are reminded about the horrors of apartheid. We are told just how evil certain white people were to black people in South Africa during the years of apartheid. Because of the past evil and horrors, today we as black people are encouraged to never trust, love, or associate with white people, even those who were not even born during the apartheid era. My question is, if these progressive parties want us to hate and be divided from white people who are not even involved with the deeds of the apartheid government, why are they sponsoring the life of someone who is directly linked to the torture and even assassination of black people during apartheid? Before we begin, welcome to Citizen Concern, where we remind you to beware of the comrades. I'm Katlego and would appreciate it if you subscribed to our YouTube channel, liked and shared this video with other citizens. In the year 1979, the apartheid government's Dirk Coetzee established a death squad consisting of 15 assassins. What was their mission?
Vlakplaas was established in 1979, the brainchild of Security Police Commander Dirk Coetzee. Coetzee commanded the apartheid government's 15-member death squad, a group of elite assassins, and Vlakplaas was their headquarters. The death squad would kidnap anti-apartheid activists and bring them here, where they'd be tortured for information. Some of the farm's most high-profile victims include ANC lawyer Griffiths Mxenge and freedom fighter Simpiwe Mthimkhulu. Many would never leave Vlakplaas, their remains buried, burnt, or even blown up to eliminate any evidence. And all the while, the assassins sat at a fire nearby, drinking and brying meat.
This death squad was not on a mission to torture and kill just about any person or any black person, but rather those who were actively opposing apartheid. So it goes without saying that people like ANC members and other anti-apartheid activists would have been included in the list of targets for these assassins. Even without hearing too many details, I think we can all agree that the deeds committed by Dirk Coetzee and his 15 assassins were absolutely evil, right? Well, there was a man who felt that Dirk Coetzee was not doing enough. Take a look at this.
In 1982, Coetzee was replaced by 33-year-old Eugene de Kock. Nicknamed Prime Evil, de Kock considered his predecessor a coward. Apparently, Kgosi wouldn't get his hands dirty, leaving the actual killing to the men who served under him. Unlike de Kock.
He did not stop there.
A year after his arrival, de Kock took over command at Vlakplaas, and for the next 9 years wreaked death and destruction around South Africa, eliminating enemies of the apartheid state. His unit was also instrumental in turning the country's townships into bloodbaths during the early 90s, all in the hopes of preventing a democratic election. His ability to commit cold-blooded murder with precision earned him the undying respect of those he commanded.
But de Kock was more than just the commander of Vlakplaas. He was behind the so-called Third Force, distributing weapons in KwaZulu-Natal in the 1990s, which led to the deaths of thousands.
He's not just a killer, he was at the forefront of setting this country alight. And he certainly tried his level best to ensure that the 1994 elections will not take place.
Surely, all of this would have angered the ANC and all progressive and revolutionary black South Africans, right? Surely, when they learned about all this, the ANC locked Eugene de Kock up and threw away the key, right? Right? Wrong. Eugene was sentenced to 200 years in prison, but only served 19 years of that sentence. He was then released by the ANC government, but not only that, he was placed in a safe house, given a salary of 40,000 rand a month and other benefits that amounted to 200,000 rand per month, all funded by our tax rands, facilitated and authorized by the ANC.
So it has been claimed at the State Capture Commission that government has been bankrolling apartheid assassin Eugene de Kock since his parole. A spy at the State Security Agency has revealed to the Commission of Inquiry into State Capture that up to 200,000 rand was allocated for the upkeep of de Kock. That included a 40,000 rand salary. The affidavit of the spy, known as Mr. Y, was read out while another unidentified spy called Miss K testified. That was for a state-sponsored safe house, she says, and they were talking about where the money went. De Kock, you'll recall, was a police officer who was in charge of the notorious Vlakplaas unit that specialized in executing and torturing anti-apartheid activists. He was paroled in 2015 after having been sentenced to more than 200 years behind bars, and that was in 1996.
I know we hear the word sellout being flown around every now and then, especially when someone does something that does not sit well with the progressives and Pan-Africanists. But sellout seems more fitting in this particular case, does it not? And it makes me wonder, is Eugene de Kock the only person who was torturing and executing anti-apartheid activists under the apartheid government that the ANC government is now funding? Or are there many others that we are yet to learn about?
De Kock was convicted of only 6 murders, but it's widely believed he ended the lives of at least 100 people. When he was arrested in 1994, de Kock was found with 88 mortars, 288 hand grenades, 200 anti-personnel mines, and 250 kilograms of explosives. He was ready to turn South Africa into a killing zone.
MK Party's Jacob Zuma and the ANC claim to do what they do for poor black people. But how do we reconcile their claims with these words from the family members of some of Eugene de Kock's victims?
Let's now speak to some of the family members, and we're very, very happy and honoured to have Catherine Mlangeni here in studio with us. Ma'am Mlangeni, how do you feel? Are you, when there was possibly a chance that Eugene de Kock may come out on parole, how did that make you feel?
Kunezinto eziningi ezingazange zingijabulise nxa ekubekwa njengephepha eliphume ku-Sovereign elithi mina ngiyalangikhubaza kakhulu lelo ngoba mina ngizange ngikusho lokho. Manje ngicela ukuthi ngene ngilungisele lokho nje ukuthi ukwazi ukuthi kusuke lokho ngiqala ukuba ngizokhuluma.
Ngokomndeni nje akuzange kube into enhle lokho okuye kwavela ephephandabeni yebo bona bebefikile kodwa akuwona umlayezo lo mama unikezile ukuthi yena nomndeni usebeyimisela ukuthi bangaxolelana no Eugene. Kukhulu umonakala wenza ukuthi usungakhohlweka ngenxa yokuthi usefuna ushwele yena. Umndeni usolokhu wakhubazeka iminyaka engaka owakhubazeka umndeni kuthi akube mhlambe iminyaka ebe 23 akakaze athi ufisa ukubonana nomzali nabazali bakaBheki Mlangeni okanye umndeni wakubuka Bheki Mlangeni bese kuthi mvanje ngoba usefisa ukuthi akhululwe ebese eqala ukuthi mhlambe uyafisa ukubonana nomndeni wakwaMlangeni wakubuka Bheki. Kithi akuzwakali kahle yonke leminyaka wayekade engafisi na ukuthi ababone noma sokumanje ngoba sefisa ukuphuma.
I have decided to place Mr. de Kock on parole. He has requested that the actual date and conditions of his release should not be made public. I have acceded to this request and plead with members of the media to respect that request.
So you, as the ANC, as Jacob Zuma, as progressive party leaders who claim to be in existence and in power for poor black people, are doing something that is contrary to the wishes of those you are there for, or those you claim to be there for. So tell me, who exactly is a sellout here? Who?
Before 2009, Zuma, as soon as he took power in 2009, one of the first things he did in the early stages of his presidential office or term of office was to meet with Eugene de Kock. And Eugene de Kock had expressed interest to meet with Zuma because he felt betrayed by F.W. de Klerk and Company and the negotiators whom he said their hands were full of blood. At the same time, we need to remember that the same de Kock was the one who was handling ANC sellouts, which are generally known as Askaris, those who were turncoats who turned in favor of the apartheid state and were being used, commanded by de Kock, to actually kill more than 100 people on instructions from above, instructions that would have come from de Klerk and Botha and so on. So it's a bigger picture than just the 200,000 rands a month that we need to reflect on here. There are our elders who are busy crafting the new South Africa need to tell us more about these things.
So you are allowed to not only release from prison, but also give millions to a man who was named prime evil due to the horrors he caused black people during apartheid. But somehow black people who want to associate with and acknowledge the good in white people who are innocent of Eugene's crimes are the sellouts. Is that not a clear example of double standards, of hypocrisy, of being two-faced? I mean, Eugene's crimes of torture and assassination are known. They were laid out at the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and he himself acknowledged them. Yet in the sight of people like Jacob Zuma, he deserves to be housed and sponsored by South African taxes. Meanwhile, we are condemned for having cordial relationships with white people who do not even have crimes of not paying traffic fines. And what is happening here? Which standards are we using? Do these rules remain the same for all of us, or are there different sets of rules for different black people? Please, let us know.
However, de Kock was recognized by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission as the one man who did everything he could to expose the murderous and systematic violence of the apartheid government.
One could say de Kock just received forgiveness. He received forgiveness, a release from prison for torturing anti-apartheid activists, forgiveness for killing anti-apartheid activists, and even giving weapons to black people of KwaZulu-Natal to equip them to kill each other. But was forgiveness and release from prison before serving his full term not enough? Was it necessary or justifiable to take South African citizens' tax monies and give them to this man as a salary, to pay for this man's lifestyle? I guess we could excuse their decision and say they understood that Eugene was simply doing his job as a government employee. What he was doing at the time was legal under the government in power, but there's a reason why this was a secret even during the apartheid era. It was a secret because it was still illegal to do what he did, even in the apartheid government or the apartheid era. What is not fair is how in 2024, we as black people are made to treat white people who have not committed evil as though they have, while the revolutionary leaders who incite us to do so treat people found guilty of crimes against anti-apartheid activists as dignitaries at the expense of taxpayers. We have white South African citizens who did not torture any black person, who did not kill any black person, who are not asking for 40,000 rand from the government on a monthly basis, who are not asking for taxpayers' monies to fund their lifestyles, and somehow black South Africans are encouraged to hate those white people. The same people asking us to hate ordinary, innocent white people did this for Eugene de Kock, a man named Prime Evil, because of the horrors that he led a team to do while he led by example. Can somebody help me here? Am I missing something?
Jacques Poe has written several books about the horrors of apartheid. He was one of the first civilians, not a victim of or worker at Vlakplaas, who got a horrifying glimpse into its modus operandi. Most of the men working there were drunk half the time, buying chops while they burnt the bodies of the men and women they'd murdered. He says its commander at the time, Eugene de Kock, was a quiet man. He didn't have the face of a monster, yet he killed at least 120 people.
He was a very ominous man because he doesn't appear to be the death squad commander. He wears a very thick pair of glasses, very thick lenses, and he looks a bit like, I don't know, could have been a teacher, could have been an ouderling in the church, certainly not Mr. Prime Evil, as his men called him.
Max de Preur was Jacques' editor at Vrye Weekblad and actually went to Vlakplaas.
He was one of the most ruthless killing machines that we'd ever seen in this country. A frightening man. And when we at Vrye Weekblad exposed Vlakplaas and him in 1989, I think it was, the whole nation stood back and thought, how is this possible?
The people who exposed de Kock were white, and they did it before 1994, so while apartheid was still legal and taking place. Now tell me, progressive parties, leaders and supporters, are we supposed to hate these two white men who wrote about and exposed the death squad that was torturing and murdering anti-apartheid activists, while you give parole to and fund the same evil man that they exposed? How's that supposed to work? In conclusion, my issue is not really about Eugene de Kock, but about the hypocrisy of these politicians deceiving people. They come out wearing t-shirts of slain apartheid activists, but use state resources to fund the life of someone who did the killing of some of those apartheid activists. They forgive and reconcile with white people who were actively involved in the torture and murder of black people, but discourage us from loving and having fruitful, meaningful relationships with white people who had nothing to do with hurting black people. Let the standards be set, be known by all and followed by all, because all this hypocrisy and double standards are honestly disgusting and tiring. I know that so many people rush to say that I'm doing this because I am DA, or that I am being paid by the DA or some white people. And that too shows how successful the propaganda of the comrades has been. Without any evidence, you as a citizen want to paint your fellow citizen in a dark way simply because I am showing you the failings and dangers of the comrades who have been in power and those who strive for it. Instead of listening and evaluating what I say objectively, you dismiss me, name call me using the same insults often uttered by the comrades. And to you, you have done a great job. The only job you have played well is that of a modern-day Eugene de Kock, assassinating the characters of those who challenge your leaders, whether they are right or wrong to do so. Look in the mirror. You are your own worst enemy. Thank you so much for watching. If our content is to your liking, please like, subscribe, and share the video with others. I'm Katlego. This is Citizen Concerned. And until next time, beware of the comrades.
Yeah, and we're back. We're back. Oh wow, that's something else. Can I just take a little bit of a second to laugh? Oh my God. Oh Jesus Christ. What have we done to ourselves, guys? What have we done to ourselves? Like, what have we done to ourselves? What happened to us? Like, how was the core we think we are there? Like, retain, like, how was the core we are retain? Where's the girl we are in? What happened to us? I'm going to go back to the beginning of what I said earlier before the video can be played. One, Katlego, did the DA condemn or file a complaint? Or let's start with all the DA, Freedom Fund Plus, AfriForum, Freedom Under Law, Helen Suzman Foundation, all this, race relation, all these groups that are neoliberal, that are white, have they ever come out when this man was released and condemned it and said, no, you cannot release this prime evil? Did they? Your own party. Did they do that? Give me a statement, show me a video, show me anything that they said, and I will come here and apologize. And say, oh shit, at least, I was wrong. Did they do that? You come out here, sisters, and you lambast the progressive parties that made you what you are today. You are having a podcast now. You are free because of the sacrifice that those people have made on your behalf. I'm not saying come and beg people and always be grateful. No, but I'm just saying consideration. Be level. Be on a level playing field. We don't care that you are a friend to a white person. You don't give a damn, really. It's your choice to be a friend to them. But no one has ever said to anybody, you must hate another white person. What happened to us before 94 is the reality shame. Hara inventor. We didn't ask for that. We didn't ask for that. My parents never went through apartheid and homeland system because they chose that. They didn't. They were told by legislation that you're going to stay in a township, you're going to stay in a rural area, you're going to stay wherever without lights because you are black. Nothing else. You're not going to go to school. You're not going to be educated, not because you don't want to, but or is it because you are dumb or because you've got some learning disability, but because you are black. That's what happened, Ceci. That's what happened in this country. That maybe you guys in the DA, it's like you forget that apartheid was a reality thing, was there. My problem, why are you squarely blaming the so-called progressive parties that you are calling out so bad, so passionately, impressing all these white people? Hey, why are you calling as if your party, the DA itself, condemned when Yalusolusu was released? Don't show me a small statement, just a vague, just a principles telephone, because I'm sure there's one somewhere that will just, that was made just for the sake of, let them be seen to be doing something. Mponte, but an accord, but no, let's support Mpohani, the woman who lost the husband for all until her years. Ali in exile. When the man finally comes home, he gets shot right in front of their house. One is, I don't know, were you born that time? How old was you that time? But now you come and stand here and you blame the ANC. You blame every black party or they are making you hate white people. No, you don't have to hate them, my love. You are with them, then the DA, enjoy yourself, it's fine. No problem with that. No one is telling you what to do, but just don't be a hypocrite, sisters. Don't be a hypocrite. I want you to come to the studio and debate me, please. That would be so beautiful. Contact me. Comment below. I'm sure someone's going to send you the link to this video, say they're talking about you. Yes. Maybe I'm the first person to actually react to another podcaster's content. The US is doing that all the time. So maybe in South Africa, I'm the first one to actually do that. Because you know what? If something's public news, it's supposed to be debated. It's supposed to be interrogated in and out. That's what I'm doing today. Show me where Helen Suzman said no. You cannot release Yalus Walus. You cannot release like Eugene de Kock. Show me where the DA said you can't. We are going to court, like they're all going to court for small things. We are going to court to fight this thing. Show me. How to blame the other parties? No, the hypocrites, the bonekamo, bairaso, mari. No, we're not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. My God, go to listen to that made me cringe. That's the only video of your content I ever watched, and I was like, this one cannot be left without being challenged. And I'm challenging you now. Come here. Let's go debate on Fanak. Rebel. I got Tobanch. I hope I'm not going to request to Alagokai. It doesn't work like that. That is why we are so divided. Because of people like you, Katlego. People who think that they are more intelligent than others. People who think that they are more enlightened and more liberal than other black people. One is, maybe when you were born in 94 or after 94, shame. If you're like that, then you don't know nothing. And you are born in a house where, like my kids, they are born in a house where there's lights, there's everything. And then they don't see the reason and the need for them to be always, having to work for something, or unless I instill that discipline to them. And I think that we are all in this rainbow nation singing Kumbaya on a ship together, loving. Yeah, Cape Town, your party in Cape Town. Then let me know. The same thing. They are out. That's why now they are all over the place campaigning to destroy Panyazali Sufi and, discrediting everything, trying to divide the ANC. Because that's the only thing they know. You are pushing that as well, and you are black. It's amazing, eh? It's amazing how destructive they can use us. But now your leader Soli Musimang. Life. Embarrassment. He comes up, he caused a huge press conference. Press conference, it's like a spitty. Hey, Panyazal Sufi is going to be exposed. How's not going to work at 2060? Really? Are you serious? Why he was not even a premier? Then go after Makura. You should have advised him. You should have made a video and say, hey, that way, it's like what advice? I'm fine. No, I'm disappointed. People like you look so intelligent, eh? But the way you are doing things, my love, no. Let's be consistent. I'm not saying the comrades, like you call them, they are wrong or they are right. No, they should be accountable. Linda, I don't like what the ANC is doing, to be honest with you. I don't like what everybody else is doing. I like them to just put black people first. Stop compromising. Stop creating GA news. Mara, I've never heard you and I've never seen you criticizing Zile when she was calling people from the Eastern Cape political refugees. One. I've never seen any video of you criticizing, the appointment of Roman Kabanak into Stenesin's office. I've never seen you creating a video. Yeah, that bodybuilder becoming more. I've never seen you that. I've never seen a video of you criticizing Silas Brink here in town. Bomb junction. Vulnerable airport. To IPPs. I never saw any video of that. But it's always comrade this, comrade that, ANC this, ANC that, this and that, black people this. Yeah. Anyway, I kids what are DA which I get people on DA, you forget that you're black. I don't know. It's just like you forgot that you're black. You forgot your blackness. It's just like your black card goes away. Like card, wildfire the one that is grey. You're in between everything. You cannot stand for yourself. Now I know how white people operate. I live among them. And here in my community, this one, when we were fighting for this community, Award 60, more Danville, they thought I was their hero because I was against the councillor, who is black, by the way, of the ANC, because he was not doing the right things. So we were saying what they want, they would wish to say, but they can't because they will be seen as racist, which they are. But because some of us who are black were standing against another black councillor, not because he was black, but because of the merit of his work, they thought we were their mouthpieces. But when they learn where we stand in politics, they were like, ooh, distance themselves from us, because that's how they are. They use you, and after using you, they discard you. Look at all your black leaders, go DA. Both from Musmaimani to Van Dam to Linda Mazubok, she's still at school, I believe, to Hemen Mashaba, to Kgosi Madikizela. One of them use that to destroy the other one. Mbalin Tuli, then all of them out. Mfano mo onele meyero mo midval. This thing ya Shiluba. What happened to them? Let them be your lesson, Bafanas. You are more Watumba. You are not there, you are dispensable. Shame. You might talk good English, you might do whatever, you might try to impress them, they might like your content, they might, they will subscribe in droves because you are talking their language. You are saying exactly what they wish to say, but they can't. Because they know the moment they open their mouths, that will be racist, because it will be racist. So then if it's said by a black person, hey, it's okay, it's acceptable. Right? So please let me know one lesson. I know someone's going to send you this link, it's fine. Send it to you, bring it back, come to the studio here, or if you want us to do this thing, we can do it. Or whatever you want us to meet, we'll do it. And we sit down and we debate. Okay, Lawan. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Bye.